Hey there, lads and ladies of the internet. Are you fed up with having to take your plants in and out of their cover pots every time you need to water them? Are you sick and tired of f***ing around with the whole cover pot nursery pot setup? Listen, I'm about to show you how to drill holes in glass so you can pot your plants directly into their containers without having to deal with the horrific slew of complications associated with potting succulents and other houseplants into non-draining containers. Hey there, I'm Smith Kingston, houseplant guru extraordinaire. Joining us today we have Thomas Baker, Toby McSchmuter, and the strikingly attractive Lady Space Cowgirl. Now, these two hummingly spectacular Haworthias were purchased very recently at a Walmart supercenter. This one here strikes me as an Angela, but as far as naming this one goes, I'm not sure what to do. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. Now, these pokey, leafy, lovely bitches came in these delightfully decorative pink hummingbird themed containers. Here's the thing though. As bewitching as these containers are, sadly, neither of them is equipped with a drainage hole. And yeah, that's a problem. Now, I'm not sure why it is that stores choose to sell plants this way, but this is a situation that I find myself in, like, all the time. Yeah, all the time. It seems like at one store or another, I'll find a gorgeous houseplant that's potted in a nursery pot inside of a classy looking but non-draining cover pot. And like I said earlier, our plan for today is to pot these two classy sassy broads directly into these containers. In order to do that though, we're gonna need to make a couple of adjustments first, since only a stupid ass dumb shit would consider potting a houseplant, especially a succulent such as a Haworthia, directly into a non-draining container. Alrighty then, before we turn these non-drainers into draining containers and get these pokey leafy bitches potted into their wholly new houses, first, we gotta get our shit together. So, without any further ado, the tools necessary for everything on today's agenda are a magical paintbrush.
Oh my gosh.
Hey. An electric drill. A big plastic water-filled bottle. An old towel. Some all-purpose drill bits. A carbide-tipped glass and tile drill bit. All the necessary sundries for potting these two classy, sassy, succulent, leafy green bitches into their containers once these containers have been made holy or, I guess, sanctified? What the f***? Anyway, I'll probably use some cactus mix, a soup spoon, this serving spoon, and my magical paintbrush. Also, this classy vintage bowl just in case. We should probably suit up for safety, which means gloves and glasses to protect our fingers and eyeballs from all the tiny microscopic shards of broken glass we plan on shaving away from these containers, overalls to protect other body parts from potential harm, and perhaps most importantly, boots. That's right, boots. Because when you're drilling holes in glass, you want your feet to be an asset and not a liability. Alrighty, now that we got our shit together, let's party. Yeah! To start, let's set up our unholy plant container glass penetration pot sanctification station. We're gonna put our containers upside down on our folded towel. This is in order to keep our container from spinning out of place and breaking once we begin drilling. Next, we're gonna put our big plastic water-filled bottle about 1.5 feet higher than the place we are planning on drilling these pretty in pink but currently unholy containers. Now, with a very small all-purpose drill bit, drill a tiny hole about 1 inch from the bottom of your water bottle on the edge facing your future plant house. Then, when you're ready to start drilling, all you'll have to do is loosen the cap. This steady stream of water will keep the heat created by the friction between your glass and tile drill bit and your as yet unholy plant house from building to the extent that it might crack your container. Once you've loaded your glass and tile drill bit into your electric drill and set your drill to the slowest setting, begin drilling. Be patient and only apply light pressure. Pushing too hard greatly increases the chances of breaking your container, and it can dull your bit, which will really slow you down in the long run. To keep the diameter of the hole just a little bit wider than the tip of your drill bit, I recommend slightly and very slowly pivoting your drill in a small circle. This will keep the drill bit from locking into place and literally prying your container apart. Also, try to avoid the urge to drill with one hand and stabilize the container with the other. A well-folded towel should be more than enough to keep your container from spinning out of place and breaking. Some types of material can be drilled through in no time, but others will take much longer. So don't be discouraged if it feels like it's taking forever. Depending on the type of material being drilled and the thickness of the bottom of your container, it's not uncommon to spend upwards of 10 or 15 minutes drilling the same container. And hey, why not drill a couple of other containers too, as long as you're set up to drill some glass. Real quick about the towel. Be sure to use an old towel and not a towel that you plan on drying yourself with at any point in the future, in order to avoid subjecting your face and other body parts to all the tiny microscopic shards of broken glass. Don't worry about it. And also about the carbide tipped glass and tile drill bits. These can be found at pretty much any hardware store and usually cost around $10 US. Okay, now that we're done drilling and all the microscopic shards of broken glass have been washed away from these freshly sanctified, pretty pink bird-themed holy plant homes, let's get these pokey leafy green bitches potted. Since Haworthias are succulent, the soil we are adding to these newly holified containers is a cactus mix. If these plants are properly watered, this quick draining soil, in addition to the fact that these are now draining containers, should help to ensure the avoidance of any root rot or other complications that, for Haworthias and other succulents, represent a one-way ticket to a watery grave. Alrighty, now that these two classy sassy broads have been potted directly into their newly sanctified pretty pink homes, I'll probably water them in about a week's time. We were pretty gentle with their roots during the repotting, but I think I'll still give them about a week to recuperate from any trauma that may have been sustained over the course of, all the shit that went down. And hey, when I do water them, there will be no need to remove them from their container. So yeah, that's cool. Now, as I said earlier, I did decide to name this one Angela, but as far as naming this one here is concerned, I'm gonna leave that up to you. So if you've got a suggestion for naming this gorgeous green goddess, then leave me a comment, and if the name fits, I'll make it official and give you a shout out on Instagram. Yeah, that works too. Hey, listen. Do you like bad graffiti, worse jokes, wacky macrame, and pretty good advice about taking care of your houseplants? Well then fucking subscribe. Thanks, Lady Space Cowgirl. That's right, click that notification bell too so you never miss a new video.